Welcome to another audit walkthrough video from SuperfastCPA. I'm Logan, and in today's video, we're going to be going over Audit Area 1. This is Section G. This is our Remembering and Understanding topic. Identify a CPA firm's responsibilities for its accounting and auditing practices engagement quality. And we're going to be doing that the SuperfastCPA way, which is diving straight into the questions to learn the material. If you don't know much about our strategies, make sure you go to SuperfastCPA.com and sign up for our free 1-hour webinar. We go over the key ingredients to passing the CPA exam, and again, it's 1 hour, it is free, and we will show you how to pass the CPA exam without wasting months or even years of your time. After you watch that lecture, you're going to want to learn more, so make sure you also check out becoming a SuperfastCPA Pro member. Pro members get access to the Pro course, where Nate explains in detail exactly what you're going to be doing every day to pass these exams. It's kind of like a much more in-depth version of the 1-hour webinar. And SuperfastCPA Pro members get access to the full 10-question versions of these 5-question videos that I post on YouTube. So for today's video, we're only going to be going over 5 questions. But remember, if you become a Pro member, you'll get access to the full 10-question version of the video, where we, of course, go over another 5 questions and get a little bit more learning and understanding from doing those additional 5 questions. So if you like this and you like our other products, again, check out the webinar, check out becoming a Pro member. And with all that, now let's dive straight into the questions. All right, here we are at question 1. Which of the following is part of the quality control elements for a CPA firm's system of quality control? Okay, so basically, by the way, what we're going over today is quality control. That topic in the blueprint, it didn't specifically say quality control. It was talking about the responsibilities and things like that for the quality of an engagement. When it talks about that, it's talking about quality control. So again, we're going over quality control today. Let's go through these different options. Option A, monitoring compliance with tax laws. B, engagement performance. C, developing client-specific training programs. Or D, evaluating financial reporting frameworks. Now, if you have no idea what quality control is or what the elements are of it, that's okay. We are using this question and the following questions to learn more about quality control and what goes into it. So if you don't know the answer, that's fine. Let's go ahead and look at the explanation right now. All right, here we are at the answer. The answer is B, engagement performance. This is one of the elements of quality control. So let's go through this. A system of quality control encompasses the policies and procedures a CPA firm establishes to ensure that engagements are conducted in accordance with professional standards, regulatory requirements, and the firm's own quality expectations. These policies and procedures promote consistency and reliability in the firm's accounting and auditing practices. So first off, overall, the whole point of quality control is to have policies and procedures that promote consistency, that make it so that things are being run the way they're supposed to be run. Now, what goes into quality control? Let's go through that. The 6 elements of a quality control system are, and by the way, these aren't in any specific order. You don't have to have it in this order. This is just the order I have it in. But first, leadership responsibilities for quality within the firm. You might have heard of this as tone at the top. So again, first is leadership responsibilities. Second, relevant ethical requirements. Third, acceptance and continuance of client relationships. Fourth, human resources. Fifth, engagement performance, and that was the answer for this question. And sixth, monitoring, and that means that there's ongoing assessments of the quality control system's effectiveness. So again, these are the 6 elements of a quality control system, and engagement performance was the only one out of the options that was part of these 6 elements. And engagement performance basically is about ensuring consistent and high quality performance across engagements. And again, the other options were not part of the 6 elements. So this is just an intro into quality control. These are the 6 elements that go into it, and they have different parts of them as well. Now let's go to the next question to learn a little bit more. All right, here we are at question 2. Which of the following best describes the human resources element of a CPA firm's system of quality control? Okay, let's go through the options. Option A, ensuring that client employees are adequately trained in accounting standards. B, monitoring employees' adherence to deadlines and budgets. C, evaluating whether engagement teams possess the competence and capabilities to perform their responsibilities. And finally, D, establishing procedures for client hiring decisions. So out of all these, which one of them do you think falls under the human resources element of quality control? If you have an idea, that's great. Or if you want to kind of pause the video and think through this and pick your own answer, that's great. Pause the video if you need to. And once you have an idea or a guess, let's go ahead and look at the answer together. All right, here we are. The answer is C, evaluating whether engagement teams possess the competence and capabilities to perform their responsibilities. That is part of the human resources element. So let's walk through this. The human resources element of a CPA firm's system of quality control focuses on ensuring that the firm has policies and procedures to recruit, hire, develop, assign, and retain personnel with the necessary competence and capabilities to perform engagements in accordance with professional standards and regulatory requirements. So what does that mean? This includes, again, recruiting and hiring. This means bringing in individuals with the skills, integrity, and qualifications needed for quality engagements. It also includes assignment of engagement teams, and this covers ensuring personnel assigned to engagements have the knowledge, experience, and time to carry out their responsibilities effectively. It also covers professional development, and that's providing training and opportunities to maintain and enhance employee skills. And finally, it also includes performance evaluations, and that would be regularly assessing personnel to ensure they meet the firm's standards of competence and professionalism. So essentially, the human resources component or element of the quality control is that they are making sure that they hire the correct people, that the correct people are on the right engagements, that they are being developed, and that they are being assessed, that they are still able to do the things that they're supposed to do. Again, it has to do with the people in the firm. That should make sense. Now with that, let's go to the next question. Okay, here we are at question 3. Which of the following is most likely included in the engagement performance element of a CPA firm's system of quality control? Is it option A, procedures for ensuring significant judgments made during an engagement are reviewed, B, policies for selecting clients based on their integrity and financial stability, C, assessments of whether engagement teams have sufficient time and resources for their assignments, or D, ongoing evaluations of the firm's compliance with professional standards across all engagements? So again, out of all these, which one do you think is most likely included in the engagement performance element of the firm's system of quality control? Now, if you don't know, again, we haven't really gone super deep into each of the 6 elements, but just based off of the name engagement performance and kind of reading through these different options, you might have an idea or maybe be able to narrow it down to 1 or 2 of them being correct. So pause the video, think through this, and when you're ready, come back. We'll look at the answer together. Okay, here we are at the answer. A, procedures for ensuring significant judgments made during an engagement are reviewed. So let's walk through this explanation. The engagement performance element of a CPA firm's system of quality control focuses on ensuring the quality and consistency of work performed on individual engagements. A key component of this is implementing procedures for reviewing significant judgments to confirm they are reasonable and comply with professional standards before the engagement is finalized. So essentially, engagement performance has to do with the judgments used. It has to do with the correct auditing or accounting standards that are used. It's kind of like more deep into the actual engagement. Now let's talk about why the other things are incorrect. Option A relates to the acceptance and continuance of client relationships element, which deals with deciding whether to engage with or retain clients based on their integrity and risk. C relates to the human resources element, and we just talked about that, which involves ensuring teams are properly staffed and resourced. And then D relates to the monitoring element, which involves evaluating the firm's quality control system as a whole, not individual engagement performance. So all of these were incorrect because they didn't really have to do with the specific engagement performance, which really is about, again, the quality and consistency of work performed on individual engagements. Now with that, let's go to the next question. All right, here we are at question 4. What is the primary reason for including the acceptance and continuance of client relationships and specific engagements as an element of a CPA firm's system of quality control? So why is this even included in the 6 elements? Let's go through these. Option A, to determine whether the client's financial statements will meet all regulatory requirements. Option B, to confirm that management has a strong background in accounting and finance. C, to ensure the client is willing to pay fees promptly and in full. Or D, to avoid engagements where unethical behavior by management could compromise the quality of the firm's work. Now, read through these. I think that 1 or 2 of them definitely will stick out as being more obvious than the other ones. So when you are ready, after pausing the video if you need to, come back and we'll look at the answer together and see if you got it right. All right, here we are. The answer is D, to avoid engagements where unethical behavior by management could compromise the quality of the firm's work. That makes sense. Let's read through this to see why this is the most important thing when it comes to wanting to know if you want to accept something or not. Assessing the integrity of management is a critical part of the acceptance and continuance of client relationships and specific engagements element in a CPA firm's system of quality control. This evaluation helps the firm determine whether to establish or continue a relationship with a client. Now let's talk about why that would be the case. The reason you focus on management integrity is because management with questionable integrity may provide incomplete or misleading information, which can lead to non-compliance with professional standards. Also, unethical behavior by management could expose the firm to reputational risk and legal liability. And finally, the firm must ensure that management will cooperate with auditors, provide accurate and complete information, and uphold ethical standards throughout the engagement. So basically, they have to make sure that management is ethical, that they have integrity, that they're going to be honest and work with the auditor in the way that they should. If that's not going to happen, if the management has a history of not doing that, then the auditor probably shouldn't take the engagement. And that's part of quality control, because if you keep taking on clients that have poor integrity, you're going to have lots of bad audits, and that's going to look bad. That's going to have bad reputation for the firm, and that's just going to hurt everybody in the end. So it makes sense why it's part of the element of quality control. Now with that, let's go to the next question. All right, here we are at question 5. Which of the following actions performed by a CPA is not part of its system of quality control? Okay, so we've gone over a lot in the first 4 questions. Let's read through these. I bet you can figure out the answer on your own when we go through this, but we'll see. Option A, resolving differences of opinion between engagement team members to ensure significant judgments are appropriate. B, conducting a quality control review before issuing a report. C, assessing the design and operating effectiveness of a client's internal controls. Or D, conducting periodic inspections of completed engagements to monitor adherence to firm policies. So out of these 4 options, again, which one of them is not part of the system of quality control? Again, we've been over all of this in different ways throughout the 4 questions before this, so I think you can do this. Pause the video, think through these options, and figure out the right answer on your own, and when you're ready to come back, we'll look at the answer together. Okay, here we are. The answer is C, assessing the design and operating effectiveness of a client's internal controls is not part of quality control. So let's go through this. A CPA firm's system of quality control encompasses policies and procedures designed to ensure that the firm complies with professional standards, legal requirements, and its own quality expectations. It focuses on the firm's operations, not the client's processes, because the client's processes is what the audit is about. Quality control is about the firm having high quality audits and things like that. Checking their internal controls is not part of quality control because that's something you do during the audit specifically, during the audit engagement, during audit procedures. We're talking about quality control here. Let's go through the options here and understand why they are incorrect and why C is the correct answer. So for A, resolving differences of opinion, this falls under the engagement performance element, which includes ensuring that significant judgments made during an engagement are appropriate. Firms must have procedures for resolving disagreements within the engagement team to maintain the quality of the engagement. So this is underneath the engagement performance element because they have to make sure that their judgments are high quality and they make sense. And if they have disagreements, they have to have a way for resolving those disagreements so they can still have a high quality audit. So that is going to be part of quality control. Let's talk about B, conducting a quality control review. This also falls under the engagement performance element, specifically addressing engagement quality reviews. These reviews evaluate key judgments and conclusions in certain engagements to ensure compliance with professional standards before issuing a report. So part, again, of quality control and engagement performance is making sure that there is a quality control review, that they are making sure that their quality controls are good, and they need to do that before they send out the report. So that is why that's still part of quality control. And then D, conducting periodic inspections. This relates to the monitoring element, where firms assess the effectiveness of their quality control system through ongoing evaluations and inspections of completed engagements. That one kind of is self-explanatory. That makes sense why it would be part of it, because monitoring is an element of quality control, and that definitely sounds like monitoring. Now let's talk about why C is the correct answer, or really the incorrect answer in this situation. C, which is assessing the design and operating effectiveness of a client's internal controls, is part of an audit procedure, not the firm's quality control system. It focuses on evaluating the client's controls, which is unrelated to the firm's policies for maintaining its own quality. Now, again, we've talked about a lot of different things when it comes to engagement quality. Really, this is quality control. And before we do anything else, let's do one more part of the SuperfastCPA process called pillar topics. Now, the idea behind pillar topics is as you're going through the questions to learn the material, you will notice the things that keep popping up. You've seen 3 or 4 questions trying to teach you about the different elements. Like maybe you saw multiple questions about the accepting engagements element, or maybe you saw multiple questions about the leadership responsibilities. Whatever the case is, you notice these things in the questions, and the most important things that you pull out from these questions are the pillar topics. You write these in your own words so that you know what you are supposed to know for exam day. And as you do this each day, you're building your own personal repository of the most important things, the pillar topics, from each group of questions that you do in your own words so that you're prepared for exam day. With all that, let's go ahead and look at the pillar topics for this video. All right, here we are at the pillar topics. Let's go ahead and go through them. A CPA firm's system of quality control includes the policies and procedures that ensure compliance with professional standards and regulatory requirements. It focuses on maintaining consistent, high-quality engagement practices across the entire firm. And it is made up of 6 elements. The 6 elements are leadership responsibilities, relevant ethical requirements, acceptance and continuance of client relationships, human resources, engagement performance, and monitoring. Together, they provide a framework for preventing and detecting issues that could compromise audit quality. Now, we focused on a few of them in this. I wanted to kind of point these ones out specifically in the video. Human resources policies ensure that personnel possess the competence, capabilities, and integrity necessary to perform engagements. This includes hiring qualified individuals, assigning appropriate responsibilities, and conducting regular performance evaluations. Now let's talk about engagement performance. Engagement performance involves reviewing significant judgments and ensuring consistent application of professional standards This element helps safeguard the quality of each engagement before reports are issued. And then finally, firms must assess a client's integrity and risk profile before establishing or continuing a relationship. If a client's management presents ethical concerns, the firm may decline the engagement to protect its reputation and compliance standing. And with that, we've gone over the pillar topics for this video. I feel like a lot of this kind of encompasses some of the things we've learned in the previous video. A lot of them kind of had to do or seem to be similar to the quality control elements. Now, again, we learned a lot in just 5 questions and in the pillar topics, but remember, we're only going over 5 questions in today's video because this is the YouTube version. However, if you like this and you like our other products, remember that if you become a SuperfastCPA Pro member, you will get access to the full 10-question version of the video, where, again, Pro members will be able to do another 5 questions with me and make sure that this gets really solidified and learn a little bit more. So make sure you check out becoming a Pro member, and the easiest way to do that is by going to SuperfastCPA.com and signing up for our free 1-hour webinar training. You'll be able to watch that, learn a lot of the key ingredients to passing the CPA exam, and that will be a good path for you becoming a Pro member. So again, make sure you check out the webinar and make sure you check out becoming a Pro member. Now, I hope this video was helpful. If you liked the video, make sure to like it and leave a comment. And with that, I will see you in the next video.